They're still waiting a little bit, but I have the stream open. I'm gonna be able to tell you in a minute here. I'm very glad we have a big map here, Twisted Meadows. I can recall 2 games between these 2 players which were amazing. One of them were in fact with exactly these starting positions. Both of them went for an expansion. Both of them went for tier 3, triple hero, full tech tree, knights, griffins, mortar teams, priests with masters, swords with master, and Dragonhawks. Did I mention Dragonhawks? You know everything. So I hope for one of those epic long games, not just the Breaker Wars. Of course, these 2 players know know each other inside out. So maybe they would play like that when they want to have a fun game, but last time these 2 played, man, Infi did not give any fun to TH.
That's right, that was in GCS, and that was TH playing Night Elf though. So maybe you thought, okay, if you're playing Night Elf, man, I'm abusing human to the fullest with a lot of towers, with zappers, with tanks, with mass gyrocopters. This time it's human mirror again, but also in recent past, TH was not able to take a series from him. I think Infi is 4-0 in the past 4 battles between the 2 friends, and that would be great for him.
Do you mean maps or series?
No, series.
Series, okay.
It was very close though, lots of 2-1s, but in the end,
TH is blue, by the way.
Yeah, so I got the colors correct. That's nice.
Alright, TH opting for the fast laboratory creep. TH delaying his hero, Infi, delaying his hero a little bit, going for the mercenary camp first. And I like this because, of course, we all know the Shadow Priests are vital in this matchup, especially early on. And I guess that's a little bit of luck on the spawning positions, because TH spawning in the bottom left, there is no mercenary camp close by for him. But Tome of Experience.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I wanted to say. Went for the laboratory, big belt of giant strength, and the town portal for TH. Infi here with the big healing. That's also nice. And the Shadow Priest, of course, is massive in the early game for the dispel and the healing. But yeah, he has the mercs. On the other side, we have a very close level 3. You see the advantage thanks to the Tome of Experience. And that's a jump start for TH. And the other maps are Echo Isles and Last Refuge, by the way. So yeah, if you can capitalize here, what else can stop Infi?
So 2 green camps should be enough for the level 3 of TH. What does he want to do with that? Arcane Towers coming up in both bases. Actually, he's not going for the green camp, he's going for the Knolls here with Militia support again. Sometimes we see fast expansions from these players, but usually, of course, it is the standard tech, and I imagine it's going to be the same this time as well. Alright, here we go, level 3. The Archmage for TH, thanks to the Tome Experience again, has a good head start. Is he going to try to be aggressive with this? Would, of course, make sense, but I guess, actually, in terms of experience, we are now even. Very nice creep route by Infi.
Yeah, despite the fact that there was a Tome of Experience, he has the better creep route. Boots of Speed now for TH, and we will not be able to get those, but he has a Berserker available as well, and he will get more Merc support as the game goes on. Tier 2 tech by Infi, Tier 2 tech by TH, slightly faster though, and I guess both players are trying to find each other, but Infi with the second mercenary camp here, second consumable item, and most likely second pair of trolls.
Exactly, and that makes it very, very hard for the early game. Nice items for him, by the way. Greater healing and greater mana, both of those are amazing. And now he even gets information as to where his opponent is, because he is killing his farm here. Gets one of the Shadow Priests, but he's going up against 2. Footman is staying at the mercenary camp. Come on, you want to get it? Oh, he's supply stuck now. Oh, the farm. He can't get the new Shadow Priest.
That's true, but it's still 38 versus 30. TH trying to do some damage in the base, but everything is of course sealed off. There's an Arcane Tower, so spawning the Water Elemental in will take some will get him some damage. Shadow Priest has to be microed away. I guess Infi's gonna kill him. Nope, without boots that's hard. And now the Arcane Tower is gone, and that opens up a lot of opportunity. But a nice dispel by Infi.
And also 2 Berserkers. Those guys put out crazy damage in this stage of the game. So he loses an Arcane Tower, he loses 1 Peasant and quite a bit of lumber harvesting time. So his tier 2 facilities are probably gonna be delayed. That's why we see the lumber mill right here. He knows, alright, I don't have enough lumber. This is gonna be for just the lumber intake. No Tower Rush coming. No one is crazy enough for that in Human Mirror.
That's true, but look at TH's base, man. He is so afraid of stuff like that, what just happens in Infi's base, that he built 2 Arcane Towers.
I think that's pretty standard though in Human Mirror. We see that a lot, of course, against the Water Elementals. But the third one, there's also a 3rd Scout Tower. That is, I think, the really big deal. Like,
Yeah,
you're so afraid. Maybe when the Archmage is level 5, then he will upgrade that one. I don't know.
Usually these players are very, very greedy and try to get as much economy as possible and not spend so much gold on this. So, yeah, very interesting. Infi losing the Shadow Priest again, so a few pickups for TH here, but still a lot of experience more on Infi's Archmage. And of course the items speak in favor of him as well. Shadow Priest has been saved, Berserkers are also alive, for now at least. Pendant Brewmaster second for TH.
And he uses the Greater Mana Potion right now, Infi does, just for more Water Elementals. Of course, later on, in a big fight, that would be amazing on a level 3 second hero, but it takes a long time. Now the Archmage in trouble uses the Greater Healing as well. A lot of investment in this early game. Is he going for the for the MK? Okay, that makes sense. He invests these items into stabilizing here in the early mid game, so that his MK cannot be punished too hard. Because of course the nice thing about the Panda is he pops out right away. He has nice area of effect damage. For the MK on the other hand, you have to wait, so he just wants to secure his time before the MK here with these 2 big items. But that is quite the investment.
I agree, and he didn't get too much out of it. The tier, at least 1 tier 2, no, 2 tier 2 buildings are up. Jesus, that was hard. Both heroes have been saved for TH. Not too many losses on the Footmans as well. So I do not like the choice to use the items that early on. There was a lot of more potential for that. And yeah, Infi's buildings are delayed. We only see the first Arcane Sanctum. Tier 2 tech is finished, but the second Arcane Sanctum is nowhere to be seen.
Yeah, some time though. This Archmage is giving him so much time. Water Elementals are distracting. MK is going to be getting level 2 here. Defend. Makes his creep camp fairly easy, along with the Shredder and a few militia, and of course the 2 Berserkers. Tome of Experience now for him as well. MK already almost level 3 with the Scourge Bone Chimes. Well, for the Footman it's kind of okay still. Will be useless for the Breakers, but if we get into Knights later, that will be amazing.
Oh yes, that's right. I didn't actually think of that. I thought, okay, there go Breakers. Doesn't mean too much, but no, Knights, of course, Knights with mortar teams, especially on big maps like this, definitely an opportunity, and both players, I think, are going for an expansion. Infi scouts this immediately with his Archmage. There's no Water Elemental left, though. And
this is what I was hoping for. Both players expanding. Hopefully they leave each other alone now for like 3 minutes, so that both of them can start taking up. The Shredder certainly signifies that the Infi might want to go for some late game here, for some heavy tech. Of course, it's also still very good against the Breakers if he needs to pull them. But level 3 now for the MK. Zeppelin, by the way, has been purchased before by TH and is scouting the counter expansion at the moment. What's he gonna try to do about it? Where is his Archmage? Maybe a Staff of Teleportation or something? Nope. His AM is protecting his own expansion at the moment. He remembers how the Archmage of his opponent has been running around his army for a long time. But his Archmage is now, Infi's Archmage is now trying to heal up the army, and look at the value on this Scroll of Regeneration, man. Ah, feels good, man.
Indeed, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. We have Rune Braces for the Panda, because he encounters the Mountain King. That is pretty damn good. He's still a few better options here, but dude, he will be happy.
He's so tanky, man. He got a Belt of Giant Strength, 2 rings, and Rune Bracers. Level 3 now for him. So this guy is extremely tanky. This is the perfect frontliner. Maybe he even has the Drunken Brawler for some evasion.
We can't check that here, but it's possible. Because Drunken Haze, of course, not that effective versus humans, there's this spell all over, and yeah, stuff like that. So what will we find here? Pendant of Mana would be the dream now, I guess. Or Spell Shield, or whatever it is. Cactus Gem of Health, alright.
Nice!
1,350 HP.
And he's gonna have 10 armor soon. That is 60% extra effective HP. So he has more than 2,000, or about 2,000 effective HP. This guy. Holy crap.
That's actually nuts. So what does
Tag right there.
Infi get? What does Infi get? Oh, Emerald of Spell Shield. Oh well, it's only against the Breath of Fire here. Would be great for the against the Mountain King, but against Area of Effect, not that good.
A town is under siege.
Alright, now both expansions are up. There's a little bit of footman harass here. One defense footman standing in between the peasants, but not too much of a commitment. And both players leave each other's expansions alone. I like this. Do we see techs yet? No, both players still on tier 2. And TH having some number issues because there is no shredder on his side. That's not an issue that Infi has to face. And there's a blacksmith coming. There's also a blacksmith for TH already, so we might be heading into some knights in a bit, but now here comes the creep back.
Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire, no Drunken Brawler, who's gonna get it? Oh, I think TH stole this one, but so we mask for the Archmage and he gets out immediately. No losses to be taken here. But yeah, TH, I feel is in a good position here. His heroes are super strong. The Expo is running, of course, well, that's for both players. Tier 3 tech now for Infi. His Tier 3 tech will be late, though. And he's going into Breakers now. That is money that Infi is not investing. And that might pay off later, because now for Breakers it's definitely too late.
Yeah, I think this was a little bit greedy by Infi. His army is way smaller. I think now would be the perfect time to hit for TH, but he's gonna creep one more camp. He's gonna get some items from the merchant. Is he gonna go for a protection scroll as well? We've been seeing this quite a bit recently in Human Mirror. No, but Tome of Retraining, Blizzard Inc.
Oh yes, he sees, well, there's not gonna be a lot of breakers for you, bro. So that is the good call. Tons of damage, both Area of Effect spells do so much. There is only the Stormbolt disabled. Apart from that, the shards will fall from the sky and deal damage to Infi's army. And yeah, he is going for the expansion because of the tech. That's a good choice. Staying in range, killing the tower, good one. But here comes Infi, scaring the Archmage away into a new position, trying to get the priests off. But also them will be repositioned here. What can the Mountain King do? Level 4.5. The Blizzard is rocking in. Also, Infi now with a few breakers that he saw that. Cancelled it with the Stormbolt. Oh, but no one left. It's just a big footman now. But the Shredder is helping Infi.
Yeah, the Shredder dealing out so much damage. And 3 Berserkers also not bad. If they get to shoot at the priest, that's a lot of damage. So in the end, I guess this army is not big enough. The Panda might be unkillable, but he's just ignoring him. And he doesn't have much mana left. It seems like Infi will be mustering a successful defense here. There's no bolt at the moment. The breath hits again, but everything's still fairly healthy. The MK, though, needs to start to be careful, but there is a heal scroll on him as well. Where's the next bolt gonna fly probably towards a priest. These are, of course, easy pickings with a Stormbolt possibility. Trying to go for the Archmage instead. Don't know about this choice. I guess he just wants him to TP out of here. He knows tier 3 is on the way for him. Speaking of which, here is a mortar team being intercepted, though, and heal scroll. Just barely keeping it alive.
Yeah, he knows how important the damage is, so he keeps him alive with all costs. Next Breath of Fire here, but yeah, there's no mana. Okay, there is mana now for Blizzard. He should use it. He needs to get rid of the Berserkers. Killing one now. 61 food for TH and 60 for Infeast. Both players standing toe-to-toe here. Level 5 Panda is very close, and level 5 Archmage is here now, and he sees, alright, if you position your entire army at the expansion, I'm gonna go for your main base, bro.
Yeah, this is nice how he's cutting off the reinforcements here. Paladin third, though, is very close. One more mortar team seems to be out of position here. Might be getting picked off. No, actually. Stormbolt coming in again. He's able to snipe so many of the priests, one by one. But he has way fewer breakers. Are there knights coming? Yes. The first one is in production, but only one. If he can get out like maybe 3, I think he will be able to hold this. But will he be able to hold long enough?
That's the question. TH open... at the choke here, level 5 Panda, there is a new Breath of Fire and he finds the target! so much damage onto Berserkers, but level 5 on Infi now as well. The Mountain King quite far away though, but he has a mana potion. Maybe he can go for a hero kill. Not the Panda though, still standing strong with 900 HP.
And here come the Knights, also level 3 water elementals now for Infi. Actually, no. I think he forgot to skill or something. Paladin, by the way, in the meantime, dying. Only level 1, of course, pretty squishy, but everything is also hurt for TH's side. Heal scroll would be magnificent for him, but he has to retreat. There's nothing such for him available at the moment. And Infi holds. He has way less supply, but he has the tech advantage.
Oh, now TH is committing to this fight with his back against the Merc camp. He gets some reinforces. The Mauler is of course very nice, gets the Water Elemental now more experience, and now he's level 5.5 on the Archmage. Mass Teleport is amazing on Twisted Meadows. Tier 3 Tech 4, TH just started though. He is so far behind in tech, getting Mortis himself now, but what can he do against the Knights at the moment? Basically nothing.
I think he needs to trade out his breakers here in a favorable fashion to be able to get some Knights as well later. And as you say, the level 6 on the Archmage is a game changer for the Panda as well. I've seen Panda in the very late game scenario, by the way, still be effective. So it's not like the MK will completely out-carry, I guess, the Panda.
No, now that there's not that many, nice steal, not that many breakers, he definitely is. Zombie Mask on the Paladin is very nice, but he's hurt again, down to 50%. TH is healing up. Where's the next Stormbolt? He's stunned for now. Oh boy, he's taking a lot of damage. Mortar Wars now, and I think Infi is getting the better of it, but not with this area of effect. Heal scroll immediately.
It's a nice thing about the Panda, so good against the mortar teams, but now level 5 for the MK. Where's the hammer gonna fly towards the Panda? But he still has quite a bit of hit points. Of course, we all know Dragon Ace, Breath of Fire, massive combo right there. He wants to get the Panda. Invul being transferred, but the MK is out of mana anyways. But there's still 3 mortar teams standing strong, being healed up by the priests. And of course, they, if micro correctly, can easily get rid of the casters. Panda still in trouble. Where's the mana for the MK? It's drained all the time. Nicely focusing him with the breakers. Now we have the Blizzard against the casters and the backline of the mortar teams. This is beautiful, Human Mirror. This is what I was hoping for. And this is a pretty even game. And TH gets his time for his tier 3.
In my opinion, massive mistake by TH not using Blizzard at the start of the fight. He still has 400 mana points. Of course it is Brilliance Aura level 2 and that helps a lot. But that was definitely a lack of damage in this fight thanks to not using Blizzard correctly. And that's why Infi got the most out of this fight. TH stays aggressive though. Is there finally a heal scroll? Nope. 3 mortar teams for TH. And how many? Okay, 4 for Infi. I feel TH cannot take this fight. He's doing so nevertheless. A lot of mana on the Panda, but if there's a Stormbolt, he has to be careful. There is no mana though. Drunken Haze, no breath. The Panda! 40 HP. The Knight is quite fast though. Can he slow him down somehow? No, the Panda escapes here.
What's he doing? Panda Man still in trouble. Is he gonna use the invul? He needs to TP out of here. There is the invul and there's the TP. Alright. But fight won by Infi, repelling his opponent again. Sorcerer's just barely making it out. 72 supply as the dust settles for Infi. And on the other side, we have the 63 only now for TH and only now also the Paladin. This guy is desperately needed.
True that, for the healing on the Panda. By the way, he gave over the Katka's Gem of Health to the Archmage, who has 1,000 hit points now. 1-0 upgrade for Infi, 1-0 here on the mortar teams as well. For TH, for Infi it's 1-0 and 1-0 as well. But yeah, he has Knights. That is such a great counter to breakers, and it's gonna take TH some time to keep up in tech here. Fragmentation shards, I think we mentioned that, is super important, and he got it now. More mortars, and the Paladin will join the fray. Lots of flare scouting by Infi coming in. TH...
He's feeling very confident right now, sitting at almost 80 supply, Paladin close to level 3. This MK can snipe units one by one so well. So what's gonna be better, the spread damage of the Panda or the burst, the single target of the MK?
so far. Oh, he's going for the Paladin immediately. The damage is too high, and he falls right out of the altar. No healing, but nice Drunken Haze and Breath of Fire. Not killing too many mortars, though. And with that damage output, with Fragmentation Shards, he can't not fight this without being able to reach them.
And then level 1 hero against the level 3 Bolt. That doesn't seem fair. That Paladin just completely evaporated. And now he's getting rid of the workshop.
Invis Panda, he needs to find the combo. First Knight being intercepted as well. Infi is playing so great. Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire, that hurt. And Blizzard on top of things, but Infi's reaction with the heal scroll was great, saving all of them.
And here is level 6 for TH. Here comes a Bolt. This was the last one for a little bit, but the Archmage's already taking a lot of damage despite the Catgut's Gem of Health. Here is the Paladin again. Quick, of course, to resurface thanks to level 1. Panda looking for the backline. Nicely splitting there. Only taking damage on half. But now Panda out of position. Might there be a surround? Seems like it's too lazy to go for the surround. Now Zeppelin, hot pickup. And he's gonna be able to get out of there.
Indeed. Nice usage of Invis to start this fight off. That was a really nice idea by TH. And now with the Zeppelin, the Panda is safe as well. Close to level 6, and Earth, Storm and Fire can change games around. He is so close. 100 experience missing. 1 tome of experience. Here comes the Mountain King again, sniping the mortar teams. That is very nice. The Knights are kind of trapped in front of there. Oh, that might result in heavy losses for Infi.
And by the way, all this time, the Scourge Bone Chime is creating so much value. Where is the Blizzard all this fight? I have to agree with you, he's just not using his skill on the Archmage. I guess if he wants to go for the mortar teams, he has to go very offensively and kind of expose himself that way. So I guess that's understandable, but at least use it on the Knights or the Water Elementals or something. It's way more effective than just your right clicks. But now we have Mass Teleport. Is he gonna try to use it? In the meantime though, Infi has been getting a new expansion up, so he's still up at 2 gold mines against only now 1.
Yeah, but there's a scout running around, a knight for TH, of course. They're super fast, and he will find the expansion sooner than later. Will Infi give him the time to use Mass Teleport, though? That is the big question. Did he went to the shop and bought something? No, only a town portal on Infi. On the other side, it's exactly the same. Panda's still invis, and he's not using him at the moment. Okay, now he is. But can he afford it? Yeah, there's the Stormbolt. He has to be careful. Drunken Haze by the Fire was amazing. That was really good. Stormbolt too late.
And there's no heal scrolls anymore, so now the Panda becomes very, very dangerous indeed. If there comes Blizzard as well, this will be massive damage, and that's why there is a TP out. But he loses 2 priests on the way, and he TPs to a second expansion where a knight was harassing. Well done.
Yeah,
but
I think he had to do it because otherwise we would have seen Mass Teleportation on that very night, and now his main base is exposed. There is no town portal for Infi. He's going to the shop. Maybe he has to rebuy one. He's at 80 food, 1,000 gold. He can't afford it, but still, it's 700 gold. He has a heal scroll now, maybe Invo Potions. No, second heal scroll on the Paladin. But that's a huge investment from Infi.
And these heal scrolls have to be there, otherwise this Panda is just too crazy. Paladin again eating the bolt, lots of damage onto TH's third hero. Mass Teleport out, he knows the bolt is on cooldown and gets away for free.
What a game to start this series with, man. We really want to see the ult of the Panda working against Infi's force here. It's just 50 experience away. On the other side, how far along is the Mountain King? There he is. Okay, halfway to level 6 as well.
Infi has also been able to edge out quite a few upgrades for his knights. They are now at 2-1 with Vampiric Aura. They are so strong. He wants to go for the backline though anyways. He wants to go for the mortar teams, but is he gonna be able to? This is broad and open area. Invisibility, Panda, Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire, lots of damage. MK at the same time for TH in a lot of trouble. Invisibility keeping him alive. There is Flare, however, we have to remember. And we see Inner Fire being swapped back and forth, back and forth. The Panda is trying to do as much damage as he can, but such nice splitting by Infi, man. Look at this. It's like Marine Micro in StarCraft 2, and it seems like Infi may have too much right now. The fragmentation shots coming in. Mass Teleport to get out of there. He does.
But not the Panda! Not the Panda! He is exposed, he is surrounded, and he is dead. And that was the one mistake that cost him the game. Infi 1, TH 0.
Alright. that is the reason why sometimes we say human mirror is the best mirror. Unfortunately, games like these only really occur on big maps, and the remaining ones for us we have are pretty small. What was it? Echo Isles and Last Refuge?
Yes, that's right.
Do you remember? Yeah, so most likely gonna be a little bit more Breaker Wars coming next. But yeah, the favorite. Infi is the favorite here, definitely taking it, and that looked very solid. Yesterday, Infi didn't look so great against Colorful, but here I feel he made barely any mistakes.
Yeah, I agree. His fights were like 90% of the time they were better, I feel. Good execution, and yeah, as you mentioned in the later stages of the fight, his splitting against the Panda was just great. Also his healing, he was always on point. Every time he needed a heal scroll, he was there with a heal scroll, used it at the perfect timing. TH made it hard for him by using the Invis all the time on the Panda, but still couldn't get a hold of it.
I also think the Shredder was a really smart purchase. Getting the Shredder early, making it possible for him to get to tier 3 early, and also then in the crucial moment against the tier 2 pressure, have him in the defense against the breakers. That was such an important pickup, I feel. He lost him in the end, but he got the lumber from him that he needed. And then he had a big tier 3 advantage most of the time, had a big supply advantage and hero level advantage. So as long as he had the heal scrolls to counter the Breaths of Fire, I think this was a very solid game for him. We saw that one fight though, where he was out of heal scrolls and he was like, oh crap man, I gotta get out of here. Then he TPs away, gets 2 new heal scrolls though, and so everything was fine again.
That's right. So yeah, 700 viewers already. Thank you very much for tuning in at the early times here on a Saturday. Not that common, but we're gonna be here tomorrow and on Monday at this time again, finishing this qualifier, or at least deciding who's going to the finals in Beijing again.
So tomorrow we're gonna be finishing the group stages.
Yep.
And then the playoffs all in one day.
Yeah, except the finals. It's just 2 semifinals and the game for third.
Okay, so the finals will be played in an offline event somewhere, probably again.
Exactly, and it's not only that final; it's gonna be the European final again at that event, as well as that event.
Ah, cool.
So
do we know when? Do we know when and where the event is gonna be?
Nope, but I think in July somewhere.
Okay, maybe China Joy.
I don't know when that is, but it's possible. China Joy 2016, July 28 to 30. So that's possible.
Well, that makes sense, yeah.
And the game starts here on Echo Isles.
Alright, much smaller map. The likelihood of us seeing tier 3 shenanigans again, pretty damn low. You want to be able to get as much map control as soon as possible, never fall behind in strength, because the guy falling behind in strength gives up much of the creeps around the map, and there's not many creeps at all here to begin with.
Okay, do you know the colors again? The one with the T at the end is TH, right? Or with the Chinese T, you know, the sign that looks like a T.
Yeah, I think the guy with the... I think yes, that's right, I think so.
If you think so, I trust on my gut and your opinion as well. And if I'm wrong, the chat's gonna correct us anyway. So, it's good. Echo Isles, yeah, you said it, much smaller and most likely a breaker game, but also it's very easy to expand here. And with the resources of your expansion, you can go tier 3. If there's a long breaker fight, you can use the time to go to tier 3. So it's not out of the equation for sure that we won't see knights and breakers or whatever.
Yeah, that's true. But also, when both players expand, you can assume that there's going to be heavy contention for Neo. What's on Echo Isles?
A shop.
That's really. That's right. I mean, a shop, singular. So that's also a reason why map control is so important, because in Breaker Wars, heal scrolls are very, very important. And if you're facing an MK, so is the Invul. And I was just freaking out there. I thought I saw an MK in the left altar, but no, it's Archmage.
Yeah, unfortunately not. That would be amazing. I'd love to see a Blood Mage this game. But since it's online, well, it's NetEase, so it's almost 0 ping for them. I would love to see a Blood Mage. It makes so much sense if you have Blood Mage control over the Archmage, no Water Elementals against level 2 or 3 Water Elementals. That's just so much value. But I can see the nuking potential of a Mountain King as well as the area of effect damage of a Panda. Makes all sense and are valuable options here. So
we got it wrong way. Oh no, we didn't. We got it right. Never mind.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So if Infi is winning this, all 4 players will have a win and a loss. So it's gonna be an interesting day 3.
Are under attack. The town is under siege.
That's true, actually. And the chances aren't low for that to happen, of course, with the 1-0 already being in his court. Both players starting with the same creep route here, and this item could already be quite immense for the early game. Boots of Speed, Claws +6, something like that.
Pendant of Energy for Infi, Pendant of Energy for TH.
Alright, very even. It's a nice item. It's not as incredible because for the Archmage, the mana regen matters more than the mana pool, but for the second hero, man, oh boy, is that a great item. And with that in mind, maybe that's gonna influence the second hero choice. Maybe rather gonna go for an MK. I guess for the Panda, it's very nice as well, so can't really make that call, I guess. Question here, of course, is that it's on our minds. Expansion, yay or nay?
I think at early tier 2 we will see an expansion. No tier 2 tech yet, and is he calling Militia? Yeah. Infi, no, TH is calling Militia, going to his natural, and Infi is doing the exact same thing. So both players with an early expansion.
Alright, very cool. Makes this matchup way more interesting usually. So, who's faster? TH is a little bit faster, so he's probably going to be finishing this expansion, then maybe taking the Murlocs. Nope, he's level 3 already, so he's going to finish this expansion, build it up, and harass immediately. And even if he doesn't get damage done, he's going to be able to secure his expansion, which he's not going for. Okay, never mind.
True that, he sends them back.
But
Infi is staying there. Infi is staying there.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's greedy. And TH is going for the Tome of Experience spot, hoping for a very early level 4, but that's not gonna happen.
The player's forces are under attack.
And yeah, not going for the Expo. Interesting choice. Did he scout this, or is it just his feeling to not go for it?
He doesn't have the lumber right now. Maybe he's just waiting for the lumber. He should have it now, though. A little bit of miss macro, maybe. He's getting more and more peasants. He also has the resources for attack right now. But it seems to me this might be too many peasants for attack.
He's teching.
No, it's not. There's the tech. Alright. And I guess Infi seeing, alright, you don't go for an expansion, then I don't expose myself to the vulnerability of an expansion either. May have been able to do so, though, especially considering he got both the Berserkers once more.
And Infi is not teching. He has lumber problems, like, heavily. He's not able to tech, he's not able to get an expansion. Now, what the hell is Infi doing?
I don't know. He's getting an Arcane Tower also at his natural. This is looking very, very, very weird. Severe miss macro.
Yeah, and that from Infi, who's usually known to not do that mistakes and relies on his macro game. Now heavy fire onto the Archmage. 2 Shadow Priests for TH. Only 1 for Infi. And yeah, not looking good for the Iceman.
And he's still not attacking. Now he has the resources. Is he gonna do it? Yes, he is.
Wow, what
but
a
the
difference.
tech is... Jesus Christ. Half attack advantage. If he goes for a Panda, he's gonna have such a strong timing. And he gets the Ogre as well. Gets the Scroll of the Beast. That is actually really good before Breakers. Oh man, but level 4 now for Infi. That's also nice for him.
Indeed, level 2 on the Brilliance Aura results in more Water Elementals. TH trying to do some damage here. He thought he could trap Infi, but no, that's not really possible. And I think this little skirmish will end in a second. Shadow Priests number 2 for Infi as well. So he can dispel most likely everything. But wow, this tech. This tech is horrible. Half attack ahead he is.
Wow, man. Maybe TH is going to give him the time here to not capitalize on this massive tech advantage, but... Well, he hasn't scouted it yet, so he may not really know about it. But if he decides to become aggressive with a Panda, early on, and then, secure some creeps on the opponent's side of the map. This could catapult him into a great position, but first he has to deal with the attack in his main, where the Arcane Tower will easily fall. Because again, level 2 aura on the Archmage and double Shadow Priest. Very strong presence from Infi for now.
Yeah, he invested a lot into his mercenaries. That's also a reason why his tech and everything is so late. But with Militia, he will be able to defend this. Only right clicks on the Archmage to scare him away. Mountain King will be there in quite some time, so Infi has to be aware of this. He knows, of course, that this hero is gonna come. And then we're gonna see Clap as well, I guess, against the Priests later. Double Arcane Sanctum from TH. The pressure of Infi is not working too well, I guess. He's not cancelling anything, not getting too much experience, and not really getting time as well.
He's at least keeping TH from his side of the map at the moment. But the big thing is, when the Arcane Sanctums are in construction, is TH gonna be on the other side to be able to cancel those? That would be catastrophic for Infi. But seems like TH again is playing it rather slow. The Archmage is low HP. He doesn't know about the tech timing exactly, so he might be fearing to be running into a bolt. And so I guess despite the super late tech, Infi gets away with a blue eye, with black eye. I mean.
Mountain King is out, and as well is Muddy the Mud Golem. All hail Muddy. We saw slow working pretty damn great, and breakers are far, far away for Infi. Only now getting the Sanctums, and then of course getting a good amount of priests first. Yeah, waiting for his hero to heal up the units. Shadow Priests are doing a good job. 2 Berserkers.
The Archmage in the main, and he destroyed the Arcane Tower before, so Militia support cannot really deal with this. The invisible Archmage making its way all the way over, and now Infi TH caught in a weird position. Do I defend and give him so much space on the map, or do I attack but suffer heavy losses? And he's not going back to defend just yet.
Town Portal staffed by Infi. He knows, alright, the forces of TH might be too strong. Mountain King on both sides now, actually. It's 40 food versus 44. Forces of TH look better, and that's the Scroll of the Beast. So much more damage for the human player, the world champion of 2013. Muddy is of course working well.
Militia support, of course, in favor of Infi. Almost level 5 on the AM already. He got so much experience from this harass. Only one more kill, and then we have the Water Torrents. He wants to get this footman. Boom! Here we go. By the way, we see the Thunderclap as well with the Pen of Energy. Of course, makes very much sense. Where is the Water Torrent? Maybe on cooldown. There we go. 900 HP. More than 40 damage, but the AM now in trouble. There is more bolts. He eats the potion of healing before, and he's level 5, so it's quite a few hit points, but there's more bolts coming, so be careful. The Mud Golem is unfortunately biting the dust, and he gets out of there with a TP before the next Storm Bolt arrives. Back into the base, yep. Being healed up by the priest right now, but look at the main of TH! The Water Element left only 2 peasants.
Oh shit! How the hell did that happen? Well, there are 5 at the expansion building it up now, and that's why TH was committing to this fight that long and got some losses here on purpose, I guess, to buy some more time. But yeah, the main base is completely... This is carnage, yeah, wrecked, exactly. And 0 lumber.
This was so smart by Infi, man. Buying the invisibility potion by the Archmage, knowing there's no Arcane Tower, knowing there's an opening, summoning double Water Elemental, then staffing back for defense. This is looking like the Emperor once again.
A player's forces are under
Of course, the longer the game goes, the better it is for TH. The expansion is up and running now. No tower though, because he has no lumber. He has to invest a lot of resources into his peasants, and that's gonna take some time. But he can build them at 2 bases, so it's only half the time that he would normally need. Almost level 5 on the Archmage now as well. Level 3 Mountain King close to being there also. And afterwards, yeah, I think after this turtle, close for both actually. Archmage is coming in again.
I think the MK is gonna get it, but yeah, AM in the main again, and he didn't have the resources to reconstruct an Arcane Tower. At the same time, he's creeping up his MK, he's expanding in the meantime, so this Archmage harassment is so strong. Jesus Christ. MK, yeah, gets his level 3, finds the boost of speed as well, which is a nice pickup also. But the main again in shambles. The water torrent is too strong to deal with. And I guess we're gonna be going into 2-base play for both again. But TH once more going on the offensive and now exposing his natural.
Yeah, and here's the Archmage immediately capitalizing from this. This is the Infi we know and we want to see for next peasant down. He goes for the counter attack, or is he? Is he without level 5? No, he wants to steal this spot. Weird decision by TH in my opinion. Now the next Water Elemental troubling the peasants here. He's going up again. Will spawn another Water Elemental here to get rid of more peasants. And economically, this is working very well for Infi.
Infi is not going to tier 3 though. So because if he was going to tier 3, there would be no way that TH would be able to keep up with him, because especially his lumber is suffering so much. So he's actually TPing back home before the turtle dies. A few weird choices. I guess those 5 seconds he could have waited, but he doesn't. Alright then.
We see more corpses here at the natural. The Archmage comes in level 5.5 just from peasant harass. There was no fight after he hit level 5 in his own base. This is a slaughter of peasants. Taking Podox, everybody. This looks kind of like it.
And we have a few new mercenaries for Infi, who already went into upkeep. He wants to really put on the pressure right now. He was harassing like crazy before, and now he's going to try to put the nail in the coffin with dedicated attacks with tier 2. Does TH have what it takes to defend against this? He's only at 50 supply, and especially the lumber is suffering heavily, and he's experiencing more and more harassment from this Archmage, man. Oh, what a pest this game.
Yeah, but what a beautiful macro game multitasking from Infi. He's attacking in the main base with all his forces, forcing the town portal again from TH, and he is low on all resources. Can he get a pickup? That would be massive. MK seems to be surrounded only by Priest, and he forces the town portal as well, killing a Berserker.
Like, apart from the miss macro of the early game, I think everything was perfect. Infi is outplaying him so hard this game. Now he's at 60 supply versus 41. He might be losing his AM here. Oh, is he paying attention? Yes, he is. But there should be a staff because there's only Clap. He can't be bashed. Oh, he gets away.
He knew it. Without bash, he can use the staff because Clap is not it's not a disable, it's just slow, and so it doesn't work against the staff. He was well aware of what he's doing here. 60 food for Infi, and he's doing the same shenanigans again, running over with the Archmage immediately. Mountain King and the rest of the army is protecting his expo for now, expecting an attack, but TH is not in a mood to go for aggressive. A lot of priests here, but that's about it. His entire army consists of priests.
Exactly, not a single breaker. He cannot win a fight. It's impossible. It is actually impossible. Archmage again spawning water elementals in the main. Look at the damage against this Arcane Tower. Jesus Christ! He can staff to his army and then easily win the fight. But maybe he will be forced into a TP because the Archmage is low hit points. So I guess he doesn't really want to look for the fight. Knows he can be forced into a TP out. Is continuing his harassment and continuing to be very effective with it.
Now TH is going for the counter attack. There is a level 5 Archmage, a lot of gold, Town Portal, and Invo Potion. He really wants this fight, but there are so many breakers and towers. Level 3 MK. Archmage is still in the possession of staff, so he will be there in a second.
And he needs to, otherwise he might actually lose this fight, or will he? Again, not a single breaker in this army. Breaker wars without breakers. I've never seen someone win that before. TP back now, though there will be no fight.
Wow. 2 water elementals force a town portal again. I don't want to know how much gold he invested into peasants in this game. He has to rebuild them over and over and over again. A few last mistakes here by Infi, but he's getting at least one more peasant. And here comes the counterattack, man. 72 versus 48. That is just a massive army for Infi. Almost level 6, 9 experience away on the Archmage. And yeah, the peasants are gone again. And I think this expo won't last for long. That is level 6.
Alright, there's already something walking towards the main. There's a peasant, a footman. Is he gonna try to have some more fun here, or is he gonna finish it off with a decent, earnest fight? I think he wants to mass teleport into the main. There was the there was the bolt. Is there gonna be the mass teleport now? Yes, there is. Oh, I'm sure he's smiling right now.
GG. I don't know if Infi is capable of smiling, but that was a cool and easy game for him, taking the series 2-0, and that heightens his chances of staying alive in the tournament significantly after the 2-0 loss against Colorful, who was what was pretty unexpected yesterday. So all 4 players are 1 win, 1 loss. Colorful with a 3-2 map score, TH and Infi both with 2-2, and ZDR on the bottom of the group with a 2-3 map score. ZDR has to face Infi. He won him before, and TH has to play Colorful, who was really strong against Human later, so there is an opportunity of TH and Infi both not making it to the playoffs.
And it's not even that incredibly unlikely, which is crazy. That's really cool. Everything is still possible in this group. But yeah, this is it with Group A for today. We're going to be continuing with Group B, where our next matches are going to be Fanta versus Fly and Yumiko versus Romantic. Fly versus Fanta being the first one. Fly being late yesterday, receiving a def win. Hopefully not the case today. And also losing yesterday to Romantic in a big upset. And then we're going to have a Human Mirror after that again.
Exactly, Romantic versus Yumiko.